I got pretty excited when I heard another story of the manga artist One was being adapted into an anime, after how much I loved One Punch Man. But I didn't know anything about Mob Psycho 100 and chose not to dig into it before watching. After seeing the first 3 episodes and videos by Mother's Basement about what a great job Studio Bones has done adapting the manga, and the Kanappa Effect's great breakdown of the team behind the superb animation, I had a new appreciation for the show. I wasn't the biggest fan of episode 1, as Mob's master Reagan's antics got old pretty fast, but work in later episodes when relegated to side gags. The animation was still spectacular, and episode 2 started to lean into one of my favorite aspects of One as a mangaka, his use of darker themes alongside comedic elements. Then episode 3 hit it out of the park as I rewatched that episode at least 10 times. At first I was interested in rewatching the end battle sequence, but then I found myself ignoring the battle and rewatching the scenes that led up to it. The Buddy Improvement Club's hard work ethic but good attitudes is put on display, and how they allow the Telepathy Club to still use the club room, and their more sketchy designs do a great job of displaying power. The underground smile cult run by Dimple feels menacing through its use of heavy shading and dramatic lighting to impose stark shadows on characters. I was blown away by how the crowd was consistently hand animated, and while they weren't always moving, enough tricks were used to make them feel alive. On top of it all, episode 3 and onward exemplify a style that almost always keeps a frame interesting. There is so much movement, which I believe is allowed due to more minimalist designs found in One's art style. Although the animation team doesn't stop at great traditional 2D animation, but uses the paint-on-glass style found in the outro in particular scenes to deliver a visually unique and powerful sensation, such as when Mob drinks the tainted milk, or when Hanazawa discovers Mob's frightening unconscious power. One of the major reasons I adore anime is how animation can warp or otherwise change characters' faces to match the appropriate tone the show wants to set. Mob Psycho 100 embraces this through its animation, allowing character models to warp to fit any given situation. 2 more impressive examples of this can be found during Mob's fight with Dimple, and how Dimple's face warps when initially taunting Mob, and how Mob's character design is altered, becoming more visually mature to display his overwhelming power. The most recent example being Hanazawa's endurance test. Something that most likely goes unnoticed because it's executed so well in the show is its sound design. This is most prevalent in episode 5, such as rocks bouncing off of Mob's barrier and skittering across the ground, or the psychic powers and sound of destruction feeling impactful but also mixing well with the music and voice acting, seen done to great effect as Hanazawa wields his empowered Tai sword. If you're wondering what an awful example of sound design is, go check out the first episode of the newest Berserk anime. There is so much to love about this show, and I have, as of writing this script, rewatched episode 5 times and cried twice per viewing every time. First, when Mob strengthens his resolve while being strangled and Hanazawa starts to break down as the music shifts to a sadder piano melody, and when the weight of what Mob has done crushes him and he begins to cry as he repairs the school. Not many shows can make me consistently tear up unless I have become invested in the world and the characters, and I am happy to say Mob Psycho 100 has done so to great effect.